What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Rants with Abby and friends. And I am Fly Guy, and I'm with my colleague here, Sean. Um, Abby's not going to be in the show today, but we're going to fill in and step up. So, hey, Sean, how you been, man?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Been watching a lot of sports. I went back down to one job this week, so I've had so much more time. I mean, it is. I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm watching basketball. I'm watching uh, football, a little bit of hockey. I'm like, this is great. I got stuff on the other screen I'm just paying attention to. Like, it's been great.
Yeah, it's a great time of year, man. A lot of
Oh yeah.
options. Like,
Literally any channel you turn into, you can find something. I mean, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. You want soccer in the morning, you want anything in the afternoon. You got college ball. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, I know we're heading towards like Thanksgiving, and it's going to be a whole bunch of games on tomorrow and this weekend. With all
We
the
even got a
sports, really,
Friday game this week.
yeah, like the Black Friday touch that they put in
Uh-huh.
there.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and there was a long time coming, I think, too, right? Like there was just
Yeah.
like too much space between Thanksgiving and the Sunday games. So it was like, you do one showcase on that Friday, it's nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's a nice little touch. Nice little touch for sure.
Yeah, what was it, like 2 years ago? I went to the first Black Friday game, the Jets and Dolphins, and it was actually pretty cool. Like it was different, like wow, football on a Friday. Like
They should sell the tickets at a discount for those two, but that'll never happen.
yeah, no,
A little Black Friday ticket deal.
especially
Uh,
up here, they'll never go for that.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, you want to start with NFL stuff or what's on your mind?
Yeah, what do you want to go over last week's games? You want to talk about this
Yeah,
week's games? What do you
yeah.
want to
Let's,
do?
let's do a recap of last week. Did anything stand out to you from any of the games that you watched?
Abby's here in the building. What's up, Abby?
Uh,
The KC game. That was awesome. I
that
mean,
was.
that looked like the Colts had that game locked and loaded. And sure enough, as I said on the show last week, there was going to be a lot of questions answered in this game. And I think Patrick Mahomes came out and said, hey, I still got it. And also a lot of the Colts saying, hey, we don't got it. We don't have that clutch factor.
Nope.
And Jonathan Taylor was a non-factor in this game. I think he ran, let me look to be sure. I think he ran for like 60 or 70, 58 yards on 16 carries.
Wow.
Kareem Hunt had 104. I just thought it was a weird game, but I thought that was a really cool game. In that Buffalo game too. Both of those games, great games. Buffalo lost. I had Josh Allen in fantasy. Screwed my whole week up. But I feel like there was a lot of really good games this week in general. We had a couple OT games. I don't know if you want to go down the line, but
yeah.
there was.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I just said there's a lot to talk about with the last week's games. If you want to if we want to go down the line, or if you want to talk about what you thought as well.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, I think the Chiefs made a statement. This could be like the beginning of their run to go into the playoffs. Uh, the Colts had a chance to really like assert themselves, and I think they lost a little bit of their momentum. So, if you try to take Jonathan Taylor out the game and let Danny Jones beat you, I think that's a risk you're willing to take if you're an opposing team.
Yeah, on that point, well, Wu-Tang, how you doing? Abby had to take off. She has some work stuff going on, so she won't be in tonight. It's just friends tonight, no Abby. But to that Colts game too, the importance of that game within the division as well. I kind of touched on it last week,
Yeah.
but you have a three-headed race again now. You got the Texans back 2 games, and the Texans look like a top team in the NFL with that defense. Their offense, they got some things they can do, but I mean, that defense looks good. And the Jags won. They're a game back now as well. And remember I said that last week. If the Jags won and the Colts lost, all of a sudden you're saying, hold on a second here. we got a chance. That division is really, really close.
Yeah, and it puts pressure on the Colts, right? Because they've been getting praised all year for how great of a season they had, and they're only one game up. Through all the success that they had this year, and they might not be that much in trouble, but I know psychologically, they're like, how much more can we do to cause some separation? Because like nobody really thought the Jaguars were going to be this good at this stage, and kudos to the Texans for facing adversity and surging as of late. They put some nice wins together, and they're a
Without
scary
Stroud,
team.
all of their wins are without Stroud. I think Davis Mills is 3-0 or 4-0. I mean,
Well, if you're the coach, do you ride the hot hand or do you go back to Stroud?
I see. That's where I had a hard time. I was talking to someone about that. Yeah, kind of have to go to Stroud because he's your franchise quarterback. But if I'm the coach, I mean, shit, I'm leaving Mills out there, bro. I'm not seeing that offense look stellar with him out there, but they moved the ball, and I didn't think Stroud looked particularly impressive prior to his concussion anyways. He's not playing again this week, so you don't have to worry about it this week. He's still in concussion protocol, but I mean, if you're making a playoff push, it's tough because I mean, you are burning the bridge at that point and saying, hey, we don't trust you to win games for us down the edge, and that isn't a good look. But at the same time, if you are winning games, what do you
Yeah.
do? You know what I mean? I think I don't know. That's a really tough call especially we're going into like the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season,
Yeah, and the other point too is that a lot of guys don't like it if they lose their job due to injury, and when they're healthy again, they're not set to be the starter again. That kind of
Yeah.
causes a rift.
Well, look at Chuba this year. He got hurt, and
Yeah,
Rico came in. He was an absolute monster. And they rode the hot hand, and I don't blame him. And I mean, he's been pedestrian the last couple weeks, but I mean, you can't bench guys like that are giving you production.
exactly. Especially a team like that with low expectations.
Yeah.
Uh, One game I did want to touch on was the Eagles Cowboys game.
Perfect. That was what I wanted to touch on too. Yep.
Yes, because we have touched on how the Eagles have looked. They have a good record, but they're kind of fraudulent. And
Yeah,
what did
I
you
said
see
this
on
last week.
Sunday?
How many times I said Dallas is going to win this game.
Yep.
I mean, AJ Brown had a good game, right? Devontae had a good game. Jalen Hurts even almost threw for 300, right? Barkley disappointing again. I mean, he ran for 22 yards on 10 carries. And what I really took away from this game was Quinnen Williams. I mean, he looked like he just is making a difference on that line.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not discredit the fact that Philly was up 21-0, right?
Yeah.
They were getting blasted early, and the Cowboys kind of settled in. Dak throws for 354. Pickens is looking like the true alpha over there. I'm starting to feel like I read a stat this week. So George Pickens has 89 catches. It may not be 89, it might be 69. Regardless, X amount of catches for 1,004 yards this year. The entire Steelers receiving room has like 70 catches for like 800 yards this year. So he has more receiving yards than the entire Steelers room together. And granted, I know if you're a Steelers fan, you're probably happy to get him off the team. He was a cancer to your team. But it's really showing like he's talented. Nobody ever questioned that he was talented, but he is in the right situation now. And I'm not saying he's better than CD, but man, is he explosive. And CD's he addressed it this week. He is dropping the ball way too much. And I am not a fan of that. And he's had the surest hands I've ever seen. So I don't know. He's got to get something figured out. But Dallas looks to be like they're putting it together. and they could be the real deal, man. I'm not a big Dallas fan. I'm not an Eagles fan at all. I think that's very evident. But I can put some respect on Dallas. You know, they're doing the thing, man.
Yeah, and to your point, I think Dallas needed this win because
Yeah.
against teams with winning records, they haven't really shown anything until this past week, where you said they're down early, 21-0. They show this perseverance and resolve to get themselves back in the game, and a combination of the Eagles not executing, but the Cowboys really disrupting, you know, the already broken offense that the Eagles have. Like the Eagles kind of reverted a little bit. I mean, although Hurts played a lot better, but Saquon Barkley, who was amazing last year, having what an
He's regressed,
average,
to say
yeah,
that he's below average. I would say,
yeah,
let me go look at his stats because I don't even think he might not. He's had that one good game. He's averaging 3.7 a carry on
mm.
684 for the year, 4 rushing touchdowns on 185 attempts. I mean,
Now, do
he's
you
not involved.
now do you think that's a product of like the offensive line not being as healthy
I
as
don't know
last
what it
year?
is. Their offensive line has been fine. I mean, I know he hasn't been particularly healthy all year. He's been battling like a groin injury and stuff, but like, dude, I don't know. I knew there was regression due. I wasn't touching him in fantasy this year
Yeah,
just because I had a feeling, but I wasn't expecting him to be like this bad. You know what I mean? Not to
yeah,
say he's not good. He's still got a couple of years left, but that offense just looks so dysfunctional week in and week out. And maybe that's what it is. It's just hard to get anything going.
yeah. And what is their identity, right? Like,
They don't have one. They really
yeah,
don't. Their identity is their defense has been keeping them in games, I feel like, and winning them games. That's
yeah,
really how I feel.
yeah. And offensively, they kind of don't have an identity. They kind of play like this safe conservative style where
Oh, well, while we wait for Guy to get back. Yeah, the Eagles just really need to get it figured out. I was trying to fill some airtime while you
yes,
popped out here. Yeah, I just saying the Eagles really need to get it figured out, man. I think they're frauds. I've said it many times. They're in that. I'm starting to believe a little bit in the Bears. Huge win this week for them.
yeah.
Starting to believe in them a little bit. We'll see how they finish the year. Um,
Well,
Baltimore
that game
barely
though,
got a win.
that game this week coming up, we're gonna touch on it a little later. Bears Eagles, big game in the NFC.
Yeah, the Eagles can figure it out next week. Is that what we're? Oh, you want your Bears to win? Yeah, I do think that the Bears win that game. I really do. That game is in
It's
what's it
in
called?
Philly.
It's no, it's yeah, it is in Philly. Sorry, it's in Philly, but it's a 3 p.m. game, so like it's not like it's a late night game or anything.
Yeah,
Um, it's just like a middle of the day game. I don't feel like there's a lot. It's not like a Sunday night game or a Monday night game where there's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? I don't. I think that's going to be the Bears win that game, man. They will be legit to me. I will say that. And if the Eagles beat them, they're just not beating the fraud allegations to me either. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know if you want to start. I guess we could just start diving into because that's next week's game. Do you want to start diving into next week?
yeah. Let's do it. All right. I mean, before we get to that Bears Eagles game, we got three matchups tomorrow.
Yep, 3
Uh,
good matchups too. Well,
yes,
two and a half, a 3 if Joe Burrow looks good.
yeah, very good point. We start off the day with a very good NFC North matchup. Green Bay goes to Detroit to play the Lions. Um, yeah, we have the line at the Lions -3, over under at 47.5. What say you?
Uh, I hope Detroit wins this game, and I hope Jamison Williams has a monster week because I have to win in fantasy this week, and he gave me 0 last week. And I'm playing against Jahmyr Gibbs, who dropped 62 fantasy points in our
Oh,
league.
Gibbs went off.
A tie would be hilarious. That would be Green Bay's second tie, right? Because they tied against Dallas.
Yeah.
So they'd have 2 ties. That'd be something, wouldn't it? I think that Green Bay looked better last week, albeit against the Vikings team with JJ McCarthy, who looks fucking horrible. Like, I'm just gonna say it. That guy is Jamarcus Russell V2 to me. He's statistically slightly above Russell all time in QBs. He's second to last. Russell is last.
Wow.
I was talking to TJ, who does his own show, and I texted him and I said they just need to start Brosmer. I mean, the thing about Brosmer is I know he's a UDFA, but he actually threw the ball. He played in Minnesota, threw the ball. He threw for like 3,000 or 4,000 yards. I just feel like he can at least get the ball down the field. I don't know what it's like. McCarthy's got squiggly lines when he's out there, bro.
Yeah.
Not to get off topic on what we're talking about, but we could talk about him later because I'm sure we'll bring them up. But Lord, but Green Bay looked good. They put up 23 points against them. I wouldn't say good, but Minnesota's defense is good. No Jaden Reed again. I think that they confirmed they're not activating him off the IR. Not to say that Detroit's defense is good. How you doing, Bills? How's it going today? Tonight, I guess, huh? It's nighttime. Jeez. Yeah. But I don't know. I want to see Detroit's offense put together a complete game against Green Bay because I think this is one of the better defenses that they're going to play so far this year. I don't think anybody questions that Green Bay's defense is legit, right? So I'd like to see him just have a crazy week against them. But, this is pretty much an even game. You got Green Bay at plus 130. The money line's 3, which means Detroit's at home. Otherwise, it'd be an even spread,
Yep.
This is a great 1:00 game to start the day off. I don't know what your thoughts about it are, but I am going to be tuned into this game.
Yeah. I mean, in years past when we got this matchup, it was like, Packers, Lions, you could sleep through it if you wanted to. But this right here, both teams winning records, battling for playoff position. This game has a lot on the line. Whoever loses this game is going to have an uphill battle to climb with the seeding. The Lions, I know they played a gritty Giants team last week that gave it their all, albeit they were banged up.
That game was crazy, though, bro.
Yeah, it was. It was
like
crazy.
Winston catching a 33-yard touchdown. He threw for almost 400.
Yeah.
That was an insane game, dude. I watched that. I couldn't believe that game went to overtime. They were down by like 17 or something, bro. I was like,
yeah.
What am I watching?
And honestly, there was times where I thought that the Giants were outplaying them.
I thought the Giants were gonna win that game. Seriously,
maybe they should have.
Like, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's just another game. Not to get off topic again, but the Giants should beat Dallas early in the year, right? And there's the same kind of thing. They just threw it away.
And they had other games. They were against the Broncos that collapsed at the end, and
the fourth quarter gave up like 24 points. Yeah. Most fourth quarter points ever, I think, in history.
Unreal.
Oh, man. This guy said, did you hear about McCarthy's alter ego? He calls himself 9. Yeah, I think everybody's heard 9. About that. I literally said I wish Brosmer's number was 7, so then everyone could say 789. His number's not 7, but how funny would that be?
That would be funny.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, I think the Lions take this game. It's going to be an entertaining game.
It'll be close too.
It's going to be close. Yeah.
I think come down to the end. Yeah, I think 3 is a safe money line. I mean, I don't see it being a blowout. If it is, I'd be shocked. But I'll tell you one thing I've learned this year is that Thursday games are wonky, bro.
Yep.
Thursday games are just so weird and so hard to predict.
Just that turnaround, and it's a holiday game. Anything can happen.
Exactly. And then I think the biggest game of the day is next.
Oh, yes. So that game is the Kansas City Chiefs going to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, and the Chiefs are favored at -3 with
Mm-hmm.
the over/under at 52.5.
Yeah, I think this will be a high scoring game. I do think that the Chiefs win. Although Dallas has looked good the last 2 weeks, I think that the Kansas City War Machine is fully unlocked and online. I don't want to be a team that plays them, and they have a tough schedule. Like they play the Cowboys at the Cowboys this week. Then they have the Texans at home next week, which is the Texans again. We talked about them earlier. They're no slouch.
Yep.
The Chargers game I think is weaker than it was if you had played them. You know, they played them week 1 and lost, right? But this is not the same week 1 Chargers. Um, Titans they go to Tennessee, and then Broncos at home, and then at the Raiders. So they have like a couple really hard games. But if I see that the Chiefs are on my schedule right now, I'm like, oh shit, like I don't want to be playing them, man, because they're going to grind games out. They are really going to grind games out. And I think Dallas is good and that defense is improved, as I said earlier, but Kansas City's Kansas City.
Yeah. And to your point, I think this is going to be a great game. Could be the game of the day. With Dallas being surprisingly, good at times, right? Like they beat a good Eagles team. They're coming off a high, where they beat a division rival, and they see the Chiefs on the schedule. So I think they're gonna, throw their best punches at least early in this game to try to establish themselves. But like you said, the Chiefs right now are a buzzsaw, and I don't want to play them if I am any team that it has them on the schedule. I'm with you on that. Just that pedigree that they have, and now that they're grinding games out, where it's like they're not really relying on one thing to really win. They're just coasting, it almost seems, and just getting late victories, almost like they did last year, I think.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
and that's the thing too, right? Like, to talk about the Chiefs for a second, is I think the Chiefs won 8 games last year on the final possession or whatever it was. And obviously when you're winning that many close games, there's going to be some regression, right? Like, that's inevitable. That's not sustainable. No one was predicting them to be the same kind of team that win. 8 out of 8 times you're not going to win those games. I say 6 out of 10 is about what you're looking at with those games. If you're the better team, because things happen. Football is football, right? But to win all 8 of their close games last year, and those games are grinders. They take a lot out of teams, but I didn't expect them to be 6-5 per se, but I didn't expect them to be like, 13-4. Like that wasn't going to happen with how good that division has gotten. But man, they leave. They're like Denver, right? Like they leave themselves in games. Like I feel like everyone in that division. I mean, the Chargers. Granted, the Chargers have gotten blown out a couple times, but like they leave themselves in games. But as Crooked said, all of these games have the potential to be shootouts, and I think this is one of them, just with how explosive both of these offenses are.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Chiefs still win by probably a touchdown or 2, even, honestly, if Dak starts turning the ball over. Because I feel like the thing about Dallas, they have a lot of unnecessary turnovers too.
Yeah. They do. Sometimes it happens in, inopportune moments. But the biggest advantage also for the Chiefs is, I think, to your point, they're battle tested. They've been in a lot of close games. And when you're in that situation a lot, you're more calm in those situations where, you're not going to panic. And I think Andy Reid is the superior coach here. So, that might swing the balance a little bit too. And, I don't think Dallas is that much of a home field advantage, as like Arrowhead would be. So I got the Chiefs in this game too, but definitely by a touchdown or more.
Yeah, we're in
And
agreement there.
and we got the nightcap for our Turkey Day special here. It's the Cincinnati Bengals going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. And the spread is Baltimore's favored by 7. And the over-under is 52.5.
I think that's going to hit. And Baltimore being -7 is a little crazy to me, just considering Baltimore's offense. The Bills, sorry. The Bengals defense is horrible, right? Like, we know that. But, like, when I go look at Baltimore, they are on a 5-game win streak. They put up 23 against the Jets, 23 against the Browns, who are a top defense in the league, don't get me wrong. 27 against the Vikings, 28 against the Dolphins, 30 against the Bears, right? They've won all of these games by 7 to 13 points. None of these teams on here, except for maybe the Bears, have the weapons that the Bengals do on offense, right? Like, that's one thing we've seen the Bengals do this year is score a lot of touchdowns. And I think with Joe Burrow coming back, and the reality of it is are they most likely out of it? Yes, but the Bengals still have something to play for, right? Like, they still have a chance to win this division technically. Oh, that's some flashing lights in here. This is going to be a crazy game, I think. I think if Burrow is healthy, he looked horrible at the start of the year, but that offense, they have all the weapons in the world to do something. And I could see them putting up a lot of points against Baltimore. And I don't think Baltimore is like a guarantee to win this game. I mean, plus 280, that's not a bad money line to take. I think they have a not even an outside chance to win this game. I think they have a, probably like a 30% chance to win this game, 35% chance. And if that offense looks anemic, the Ravens offense looks anemic because Lamar Jackson has not looked impressive the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'd say they have a higher chance than that.
Yeah, and I think when I look at the line, I think Vegas, and if I'm trying to use their logic here, is going based off like the head-to-head matchup between Lamar and Burrow. Lamar I think is 6-1 against a Burrow-led Bengals team.
Yeah,
but the other side of the coin too is Burrow usually on a game after a bye or extended, break, his numbers have been lower usually. So like there is a rust effect that he has. And, with that offensive line, I do have some trepidation, especially if it's going to be his first game back. I actually think if, Flacco's the quarterback, we might have a really good chance of seeing the Bengals upset the Ravens.
This would be a barn burner, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This would be up there 35, 40 points each.
Yeah. And, the schedule makers, I think, kind of anticipated that at the very least that this had the potential, to be like a very entertaining game.
I think it still does. If Burrow is healthy and that foot isn't messing with him, he's significantly more mobile than Flacco, right? Like he'll be able to get out of the pocket. But to your point, is the rust going to be there? I think if he comes out here and even looks about like 80% of what he could look like, they have a chance. But you are absolutely correct when you say, the rust and, Lamar 6-1 against them.
Well, the other thing too is if we're part of the Bengals brain trust and we're going to go, through with starting Joe Burrow, I think in the beginning of the game, if you establish some type of a run game and get him some short passes to get him in rhythm, just so he's just not airing it out automatically, from the rip. He's into the game.
Yeah.
Just so, because I expect the Ravens to go after him, on defense.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be bringing 5, 6, 7
Oh
early
yeah,
on. I think that Chase Brown is going to have a monster game. He's going to be getting checked down galore. He's going to look like Jahmyr Gibbs out there.
yeah.
Like, he'll probably have 10 receptions this game. I have no doubt they're going to try to get him on those quick dump off passes, try to get the ball out of Burrow's hand fast. You know what, though? I just remember T. Higgins isn't playing this week. So remember, he had that concussion. I don't think he's playing this week because that was a bad, nasty injury.
That was.
I forgot about that. You do get Jamar back, though, at least. So
Yeah.
but I didn't even consider that. I'm sitting here talking about the game and how they got all these weapons. I'm like, wait, they don't even have one of their best weapons. So
yeah, I mean, but they still should, be able to put up points, nevertheless. But yeah, that game has the potential of really like putting a bow on a nice Turkey Day football, trifecta.
yeah.
Now we are going to go into the Black Friday matchup, and we alluded to that earlier. It's the Chicago Bears traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, with the Eagles being favored by 7 and the over-under at 44.5.
I feel like this line is crazy disrespectful. I don't know if I'm crazy. -7?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if
bro.
they've been watching. I mean, we've talked about how, and especially you brought up how the Eagles have not looked that good, even in their wins, right? And to be fair, the Bears have also kind of won a lot of close games, but in a confidence meter, if we're going to say who we have more confidence going into this game, I would have to say the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, dude, I just looked last week to start the game. It was 55-45 Eagles over Dallas. This game is 70-30.
Wow.
You're telling me that a fully healthy Chicago is 15% less likely to beat Philly? I know that the Cowboys are at home. I mean, they end up winning that game, right? But that is disrespectful to say the least. I mean, Chicago is loaded with weapons. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to deny that. They just have trouble putting it all together. But Lord have mercy. I don't see any way, shape, or form. I feel like the Bears are like and that's why I've said that I think they're fraudulent, right? Like they win a lot of close games. They're in games they shouldn't be in, which is good for them. They're winning the games, right? But again, it goes back to like the Chiefs, right? Like the Chiefs won 8 really close games last year. You're going to see some regression at some point or another. But I don't think the Bears are this much worse than the Eagles. I think the Bears have more offensive weapons than the Eagles do.
And better
Is that
chemistry.
crazy to say?
No, and I think they have better offensive chemistry. There's something happening in the locker room in Philly that everybody's not on the same page. Everybody's kind of pulling in different directions, it seems, and we can't get that consistency that we may have saw last year, towards the stretch run of the season where Philly was looking dangerous,
Yeah. And not only that, if I remember, Devontae didn't practice today, and Saquon's question was week. Now, granted, if they both play, but like Smith not practicing today, I mean, if he doesn't play in this game,
yeah. Well,
who you're throwing to AJ Brown and
Goddard? Yeah.
I don't know. I personally think that Chicago wins this game. I think that 7.5. I mean, plus 400, unless there's something I'm missing, or plus 270. Sorry, I thought I said plus 470. But if there's something I'm missing here, I'd love to know. But I just do not see this at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bears definitely win if Williams keeps playing at a high level, doesn't turn the ball over because he
doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I just looked. He has only 4 interceptions this year, and Jalen Hurts has only 1, so he doesn't turn the ball over either. But like, these are 2 quarterbacks that aren't turning and like the Eagles' defense is great, right? Like they do have a good defense, a great young core, but I don't see them rattling Caleb like that. he has so many options on the field.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Caleb plays smart, I know sometimes he'll take a chance with his legs and hold on to the ball a little bit too much. Um, he did have a bad fumble in the end zone uh, against the Steelers,
Yeah,
which if he does that against Philly, it might be more costly because the Steelers' defense isn't as good as Philly's, but
I defer. I think that their defense is better. They just look horrible this year, which is crazy.
yeah,
I think the Steelers, and I thought this at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I think Seattle's defense and the Texans' defense are the best two defenses in the league. I thought the Steelers had the best defense in the league from top to bottom.
I mean, there are elements about the Steelers defense that are very good, but for me, they kind of give up too many points to
Yeah.
teams that shouldn't, be scoring that much on them.
I feel like I said every week, it's like what Steelers defense are you getting this week, right? Like I always say that whenever we predict a team to win, which defense for the Steelers are you getting? But no,
Yeah.
this game though is gonna be a good game, but I definitely am favoring Chicago money line. I'm definitely favoring Chicago +7.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the Eagles could win this game, but I don't think the margin is more than a
No,
touchdown. That's crazy.
they're not beating the brakes off of them. I'll tell you that much. There's no way.
No, this is going to be a very close game. Could be a defensive game, where turnovers really matter.
Now Chicago's 2 losses this year or 3 losses rather. Vikings, Lions, and Ravens. Only 2 of those have been. I mean, they lost to the Lions 52-21, and they lost to the Ravens 30-16. But every other game, they've won by 1 point, 1 point, 12, 5, 4, 2, and 3. So they play close games regardless. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they got the break speed off them, and they only lost by 3 to the Vikings, but they got destroyed by the Lions, and the Ravens was a 2-score game. But I think there was something in that game that made it a 2-score game at the end. Yeah, Derrick Henry scored with like 2 minutes left. But either way,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't see them losing by over a touchdown.
and this is a great test for a Bears team that is looking to make their mark in the NFC. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to beat, the defending champs. In their house. It's going to be a signature win where you could be 9-3 and really sitting pretty in the NFC playoff picture.
Yeah. If they go to 9-3, they'd be up at least it'd be a game if they win this because Green Bay and Detroit play this week.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Right, Zandy? You think it's unrealistically large, right? Like I don't see this being a 7-point. That means that to win this spread, Philly has to win by over a touchdown, right? Like you push at a touchdown, they have to win by 8 points or more. I feel like that is crazy disrespectful, especially with Devonta Smith and Saquon both being questionable. And they just lost one of their really good players, one of their linemen for Lane Johnson. Was it Lane Johnson?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Yeah, they lost Lane Johnson last week.
Yeah, that's that's a big loss. That one of their strengths is that offensive line. So I don't know, unless they're banking on them playing pissed off and trying to get some retribution for blowing that game against Dallas. But yeah, that's a game where like you might be getting a gift there from Vegas. So
Yeah,
take it while it's there.
and granted, Vegas normally knows what they're doing, right? Like we're not going to sit here and say that like we're smarter than Vegas, but this just feels crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because even last week, like I said that I want to see just to make sure before I say something. Yeah, so the Baltimore game was minus 14.5, and they won by 13.
Yeah.
And I thought that was even like a massive spread. Like, and even the Seahawks, right? Like Seattle was minus 14. Granted, the bullshit punt return where there was a block in the back and a holding call. Like, we kind of got softy in the game, but we still beat the brakes off of them throughout the game, right? But
Yep.
like those games, they got closer than they should have been. But yeah, like the Ravens kicked the field goal with like 40 seconds left in the game. So they really won by like 10 points. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. That's a big number. I feel like every time we see these big numbers that like kind of strike us, there's
Yeah.
usually a reason for that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, tomorrow's Black Friday's game is going to be a very entertaining game, nonetheless, with a lot of implications there.
for
Um,
sure.
can't wait for that one. So yes, let's move on to Sunday's games. We're going to start off with the 49ers going to Cleveland to play the Browns. The 49ers are favored by 4, and the over-under is 36.5.
I feel like that's pretty low, honestly. I think that I think this game's definitely going to go over 37 points. I don't know.
Should.
This would be a great test for the Niners to play like a really good defense, right? Like I think the Browns. I mean, Myles Garrett's 5 sacks away from breaking the NFL record, right? Like he has been a monster. He had 4 sacks last week, and a piss poor Las Vegas team, right? But he looks to be on a different level, and my team's in this division, right? But I'd really like to see the Niners move the ball in a team like this. Purdy, will be his 3rd week back, so we'll get a real good feel for him. I mean, McCaffrey's been doing McCaffrey things all year. He looks insane. He's touching the ball, receiving, running. I mean, he's doing everything. Kittle and Purdy's chemistry are off the charts. Juwan Jennings looks decent. Pearsall looked interesting last week, to say the least.
Yeah, he needs to get back on track.
Yeah, Shador I will say he looks serviceable. I mean, again, it's the Raiders, so it's hard to say. And when I say serviceable, he threw the ball 20 times. He completed 11 of them. He had a touchdown. And if we're being genuine about this, he threw for 209. 66 of it went to Dylan Sampson on this crazy out route. And Sampson is, to me, one of the best receiving backs in the league. And he just housed it, and no one even came close to touching him. So he really threw for like 140 if we're going to be genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Judkins had 2 touchdowns. I think there was a turnover in the red zone, and Judkins ended up getting an easy touchdown. Shador doesn't look great. He's not wowing anybody. They put up 24 points, but I don't think it was 24 points because they put up 24 points. I think it's 24 points because the defense was putting him in a good position.
Yep.
We'll see, man. I think that this Cleveland defense is legit, though. I do. I wish Myles Garrett was on another team because, God, he's so fucking good, man. He is such a good player. But I'd like to see the Niners put up like 30 or 35 here, kind of like what the Rams did last week. They put up like 34 against the Bucs. I kind of want to see something like that this game where they're going and playing a good defense and, you just beat the piss out of them.
Yeah, and, going to Cleveland could be tricky, right? With that defense, I don't know if weather might be a factor. Purdy and company should win this game, and I think definitely is going to go over. That's kind of low, even though Cleveland has a great defense. It might be low because they are not confident in Shador to put up a lot of points against the 49ers, but that remains to be seen. I think the 49ers take care of business in this game. The Browns might keep it close for a little bit, but McCaffrey and Kittle, they're just a lot to handle.
Yeah. And that Niners defense, they're not horrible by any means. So
no.
I just don't see them putting up a lot of points, but I see the Niners putting up a lot of points. I think it's like a 28-14 or 28-13 kind of game. They get 2 field goals and a touchdown somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's fair.
Now these next 2 games that we're going to talk about, not to jump ahead, are really important games.
Yeah. Let me see. Let's go over here. I want to go to the Houston Texans
Mhm.
versus the Indianapolis Colts in Indy, with the Indianapolis Colts favored by 4.5.
Do you want to touch on this question first? Or you want to talk about the game?
Yeah, I mean, we could touch on this real quick because we spoke on the 49ers. What do you think about the Brandon Ayuk situation?
I think it's crazy. I am not on the fan like the wagon of these players being divas the way they are. I mean, he's not even showing up to his rehab assignments. Like you're getting paid. Let me look at his contract.
Oh, it's bad.
He got a 4-year, $120 million contract. You are getting paid $30 million a year, and you can't go to your rehab.
It's
I
wild.
mean, it is insane to me, like the way that these guys act. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm sure he's talented enough. He's going to play somewhere else, right? Like that's not a question. But to me, contracts like this should be able to be voided when players are doing this, right? Like this
Yeah,
is ridiculous to me. You're getting paid $30 million a year. If you're really hurt, don't play. You're still going to get paid your money and play next year. But like to act like a diva. I'm seeing here now they voided more than 26 million from his contract currently.
okay.
Um, for guarantees, but regardless, I mean, yeah, it is voided. Yeah, sorry, I just saw that crooked. I didn't see that part. But I just think it's crazy, man. I do not understand why these guys act like this. You're getting to do this job of a lifetime. You know what I mean? You're making hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's in a talented offense, right? Like,
Yeah,
just get healthy and come back and play the damn game. That's what you get paid to do.
yeah,
That's
and
my opinion on it.
he is talented. I do give him that. Um, One of my closest friends is a diehard 49ers fan, and I know that that off season where he was holding out to get that contract, he was like, man, he's not worth that because Ayuk was trying to showcase himself to be like, oh yeah, I'm a number one guy. I want to be paid like a number one guy. Well, part of being a number one guy is acting like it.
Yeah,
Uh, you're not making your rehabs. Like, come on, dude. Like, I get it. You feel like you want to make a statement, but you're going about it the wrong way. You're on a
yeah,
really good team, man. You know, and I think he might not have the right people in his corner. He's getting wrong advisement.
yeah.
You
So it
can't
feels like
act
a
like
lot of
this.
these guys, man. Star Spangled in the building. What's up?
Yo,
Our favorite Rams fan right there. Love
yes,
that
right.
guy. Yeah, like Crooked said, it's like us getting paid to talk fantasy football or sports and just not showing up to the podcast or showing up to the show. Like, dude, you get paid to do something that granted there's a lot of physical impact, but something you love, right?
You love.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, if I could get paid $120 million over 4 years to show up and play football, sign me up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But yeah, I think that we both are in agreement on that. But we can definitely talk about this Colts game because that's the one this game is going to be.
it's huge.
I'll tell you what, if the Texans win this game,
Woo.
this division is going to be spicy
Oh yeah.
because not to jump ahead, but Jacksonville plays Tennessee this week. Let's just say that
Oh
they win this game, which they should. Jacksonville and Indy would be tied, and the Texans would be one game back. This would make this division something to watch for the rest of for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
trying to see. Yeah, so the Colts play the Texans, excuse me, the twice still. And then they play Jacksonville twice still. So
Wow.
the Colts play Texans this week at Jackson. The Colts play. This is the Colts schedule.
Yeah.
Listen to this shit. In Indy versus the Texans this week. at Jacksonville next week, at Seattle the week after, at home versus the Niners, at home versus the Jaguars, and then finish the season in Houston.
Wow. That's
They
tough.
they might have the hardest schedule for the rest of the year,
Yeah.
top to bottom. I mean, you're playing all playoff teams for the rest of the year, pretty much, or
Yeah.
teams fighting for playoffs. Star Spangler Abby is not here tonight. She had some work to take care of. I think she's doing a food drive or something like that. Correct me
Yep.
if I'm wrong. So she's out doing that. Being a good person, unlike us, we're sitting at the house talking sports, right?
Yeah.
No Abby, just friends.
Shout out to Abby.
But yeah, that is an insane. That might be like seriously, that might be the hardest schedule left in the league. You know, they don't have an easy game on here where you're like, yeah, they won that game.
Yeah. It's going to
So
take
this
all their
division,
resolve, right?
yeah, and I actually think that the bunch of hooligans. I actually think that the Texans win this game, man. They look great. Their defensive line looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say their offense looks awesome, but they move the ball down the field, and they got a lot of young, talented receivers, plus Nico Collins. Woody Marks runs like a fucking bowling ball.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's getting through, Nick Chubb. I don't like Nick Chubb. I think they just use him because they have to. But this is going to be a good game. But I do think Houston wins this game, man. They look like a really good team. They're on a 3-game win streak. They beat Jacksonville, they beat the Titans by 3, and they beat the Bills, and then they lost to the Broncos by 3 the week before that. They're hitting their stride at the right time.
Yeah. And I don't think that there's any team in that division that's really going to pull away, right? Like the Colts
They had their chance. They had their chance.
They had their chance. And, the schedule makers backloaded these division games all at the end, between, Jacksonville and Houston respectively. But wow, coming off that loss to the Chiefs, like now you have to really like look at yourself in the mirror and say, look, we have to come back this week and really make a statement, because they could have a drop off almost reminiscent of the Steelers of a couple years ago. Remember,
Yep.
they were like 12-0 or 11-0, and then they just like lost games going into the playoffs.
Like 6 in a row or something, right? Or 5 in a row or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that year too, like we were very skeptical, and I'm saying we as like football
fans.
pundits,
the football fans, yeah.
where they were like, we're skeptical, like, yeah, they have a good record, but I think the Colts might fit into that category as well. Yes, they made the trade for Sauce Gardner, and they kind of needed to upgrade, on the quarterback position. But man, if the Texans take away the run game and they're able to put pressure on Daniel Jones,
which they're more than capable. Look what they did to Josh Allen last week. I mean, they're more than capable to do that. And they're coming off extra rest, right?
Yeah.
They had played a Thursday game.
More than a week. Yeah.
Wu-Tang, why do you think that the Colts win? I'm just curious. Like, what facet of their game do you think is better than the Texans right now? I'm not saying the Texans are the best team. I just think they're playing really well at a really good time.
Yeah, they're hot. Like, momentum does mean something, right?
Yeah. I watched that whole Bills game. I watched the whole game with my fiance, and I couldn't believe how good they looked.
Yeah.
Like they're not like they're not the best team in the league, but Stingley is a monster. Will Anderson was getting in the backfield every play. Danielle Hunter causing chaos. I was like, man, they are literally tearing these guys up.
Yeah. And when you have a defense like that, a good defense or a great defense, I should say, always travels. Yeah. So it does not matter if they're home or away, and especially in a division game where you kind of know tendencies, what really to expect the Colts to do. they're going to try to establish the run game and kind of like play time of possession, I think. Try to keep that defense on the field. So
I wish I'd be a millionaire.
Star Spangled, man.
This guy's a. Actually, I wish my fiance was JSN. That'd be even better.
Oh man,
Oh, but let's
guy's
hop on to
unstoppable.
the. We could probably skim past the Jaguars game. We can briefly talk about it, but I think
Yeah. But I'm with you on this game. I think Texans win a close game at the end.
yeah, I'm there with you.
Uh, yeah. So the other divisional game here in the South, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Tennessee to take on the Titans, and Jacksonville is favored by 6.5 with the over/under at 41.5.
I think the under probably hits here.
Yeah.
Jacksonville definitely wins this game. I will say that Cam did look good.
Yeah.
No, not good. He looked decent last week. He made some good throws. Again, I think that score was a little skewed. If you watched the game or saw any highlights, you'd see how bogus that punt return for a touchdown was.
Yeah.
That 7-point swing right there. They were getting the shit beat out of them the whole game, and I think we kind of just went on cruise control. Again, Cam did make some good throws against a really good Seattle secondary, but Jacksonville's got a lot to play for in this game. I just don't see Jacksonville losing this.
Yeah. I think Jacksonville wins. This game could be close because historically these two teams do play each other pretty close and hard. But yeah, Jacksonville to me is the better team with something to play for. So
Yeah.
Division game, they should win. I'll be surprised if Tennessee pulls an upset.
This would be upset of the year, I think. I mean, this would be a crazy loss.
Yeah, and you only hope that Trevor Lawrence just doesn't revert to his interception prone self.
Yeah,
in that game.
I'm right there with you.
Let's see where we go next. Let's do okay. The Saints at Dolphins. I'm going to be actually attending this game this week.
Oh, okay. You're going to be in Miami?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
So, definitely a winnable game for the Dolphins here. But the spread, Dolphins are favored by 6, and the over-unders at 41.5.
Yeah. This is going to be a weird game. I don't think a lot of points are going to be put up one way or the other. If they are, it's going to be because Achan's hitting crazy runs or Waddle gets a – I don't see them consistently moving the ball, I guess is what I can say, Miami.
Yeah.
No Kamara for the Saints. Neal, I know nothing about the guy. I know he's a stocky pass catching back. He's a 3-down back. He can run the ball on the goal line. So I know he might be serviceable, but I don't see the Saints putting up a lot of points, quite frankly, and I don't see them keeping this game close at all, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
They lost by 14 to the Falcons last week, who I think are pretty – I think the Falcons are a really talented team. They just don't have a quarterback, if I'm being frank.
Yeah.
But that's a Falcons team without Drake London and Kirk Cousins, who can't move 4 feet out of the pocket. I just think Miami probably wins this game by like 14 plus at minimum.
Yeah, I think this is a game where, Tua could really kind of get in the rhythm. I don't know if the Saints are really going to put a lot of pressure on him. So this could be one of those games where he could be in sync. And, we'll see Waddle get the ball in Washington. And I think Achan's going to – this is one of his games where he could theoretically put up a lot of points if you got him on fantasy. But, yeah, and I think the Dolphins' defense has played a lot better as of late. And with a rookie quarterback for the Saints going, I think what's his how do you say his name?
I call him Shuck or Tyler Show.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I probably should know how to say his name. I think it's Show.
Well, he's going to be in for a show this weekend.
Yeah, he hasn't looked horrible.
No.
If I'm being honest with you, he just doesn't look like a franchise piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he's sitting at a 41 QBR, 65% completion percentage. Sorry. He's played 4 games. He's got like 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's not horrible. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's just not gonna wow you. He does make some good throws, but again, he's not someone I'm like, oh no, you know.
Right. So yeah. So I guess we're in agreement here with the Dolphins. Yeah. Okay. Atlanta Falcons coming up to Jersey to play the New York Jets. I know we have some people that are interested in this game here, but the Atlanta Falcons are favored by 2.5, and the over/under is at 39.5.
Yeah, no Drake London again. He got confirmed out. I don't think Kirk Cousins did like anything last week, even though they put up 24 points. Threw for 199, 2 touchdowns, 50-yard bomb to Mooney. This game is probably going to be another low-scoring game. Again, I think the Falcons are extremely talented. I just don't think Kirk Cousins is that talented anymore. He was great in his prime. He's just not throwing for 500 yards like he used to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Jets have kept a lot of the games close that they've played in the last few weeks, which no one expected. I mean, I still think Atlanta wins this game, probably by 4 to 7 points. But it's just one of those games that's not really interesting to anybody unless you're a Jets fan, I guess.
Yeah. This, Kirk Cousins led team versus the Jets.
Yeah.
We could see a field goal battle, or, you never know. Bijan Robinson could break a nice run in this game, kind of change the projections a little bit. Could be some turnovers in this game.
Atlanta's defense is decent. Like they can definitely force some turnovers. The Jets have been forcing some turnovers. But again, this is just an unimpressive game. This is like the Browns game from a couple weeks ago. I don't think anyone really expects much of it,
I'm for no reason, I think the Jets actually win this game.
Okay. I mean, they're plus 125, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities at all, right? Like that's saying pretty much this is almost as even as you can get.
Yeah, and I have no confidence in the Falcons, even though they are the better team on paper.
Oh, yeah. But they're one of the most talented teams in the NFL on paper, Like Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts has been pretty much a wash. He's been a little bit better this year, but I mean, I think that they're going to have some tough questions to answer in the offseason. I don't think Penix is their guy.
No.
Especially with another ACL injury. They'll probably have to address that. But that's that's a conversation for the offseason. But, yeah, just not expecting much.
Yeah. But maybe a more interesting game here is the Los Angeles Rams going to Carolina to play the Panthers. And we have the Rams favored by 10.5. with the over/under at 44.5.
Yeah, the over/under is going to smoke on this game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Bryce Young's looked decent the last few weeks. He's made some really good throws. They only put up 9 points last week. But that touchdown pass to Tet was a really nice throw. But regardless of any of that, I think the Rams are going to come over here. I would not be shocked if the score in this game looked exactly the same as it did last week against the Bucs. 34-10 or 9 or whatever it was. They're going to beat the shit out of them. It is a big spread for a home dog, but like it's the Panthers. And again, they've been a surprising, like, they've been nice to see how they're doing. And honestly, with Baker going down, this division feels wide open as well.
Yeah.
They have a chance. We'll talk about the Bucs because they're the next game, sorry. But the Panthers have a chance to keep this division close. The Rams are so good, man.
Yeah.
The Rams are so good. I'm a Seattle fan, and I'm saying that. they're an elite team, and they beat the brakes off of bad teams. And I'm not saying the Panthers are bad, but they're not 6-6 good either.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. I think the Rams take care of business, man. They, to me, look like the best team in the NFL at
yeah,
currently. They've been getting the best quarterback play of all the teams. I think Stafford's looked amazing.
yeah.
Um, he has really come into his own. Just him not turning the ball over and just he's not like dinking and dunking all game long either. Like
Well, it's
he's a
crazy to say he's coming into his own. He's 37. He's
yeah,
been people. I mean, obviously people know if you watch football, but he's been in the league forever. I
yeah,
mean, I think he's got to be in what year 14?
yeah. I think
Drafted what
14.
09, 08, 09.
Yep.
I mean, he's been doing it for a while and for a lot of bad teams. And yeah, Baker's not on the injury report, but that's not like he got hurt. Like he was knocked out of the game. Like he's not his shoulder. He gets hit a couple times and he's prone to getting hit. And we'll talk about that game in a little bit. But Baker takes some shots, man. He takes
Yeah.
one or two. He might easily just be knocked out of that game as well. You're probably better off just having Teddy play and not risking, Baker getting re-injured. Let him sit another week. But we'll talk about that game, like I said, in a few minutes. But back to the Rams, I just think that the Rams with Stafford, 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this year, 2,900 yards, 2,800 rather. He looks awesome, and I'm a Seattle fan, and I'll glaze him. This Rams team is elite. They are the best of the best right now.
Yeah. And I think if he keeps doing this, I think he right now is in the Matthew Stafford is the favorite for MVP
Yeah,
right
he
now.
is. He is the favorite. Correct.
He took that over right now, unless somebody else emerges in the late stretch of the season. I don't see it happening, but yeah, when you have that elite quarterback play, and they have a hell of a coach too, that they are in sync, man. You could see it, and you know besides Seattle, who I think could match up well against them, or maybe the Eagles. I don't know. Like not Justin Fields. Come on, man.
We're gonna trade him to the Bucks for our new Bucks fan in the chat over here.
Yeah. maybe maybe have Justin Fields go to Tampa and see how he
Yeah.
does down there. Because according to our friend here, he was supposed to be comeback player of the year and lead the Jets to the playoffs. But
I will say I do know a ton of people that were really high on him, but he did. If he's not doing anything in his time at the Bears, he wasn't doing anything in his time with the Jets.
100%. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Oops is right. But yeah, we can move on to this Cardinals Bucks game.
Yes. We had the Arizona Cardinals going to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers, with the Buccaneers favored by 2.5.
Which means actually if they weren't at home, they wouldn't be favored. This would have favored the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Which I think says a lot.
It does.
And I actually do think Arizona. Sorry, we were just talking about Carolina. Arizona, I think they do win this game. I don't know why. The Bucks have looked so bad to me the last 4 weeks. And I know they've had a lot of tough games, right? Like their last 3 wins. I mean, the last 5 weeks, they lost to the Lions 24-9. Then they go beat the Saints. Everybody's expecting that. They lose to the Patriots by 5. You lose by 12 to the Bills, and then you just get the piss beat out of you by the Rams. Then they've been hurt, but they're still hurt, right? Like nothing's really changing. Let me go look at their injury report here. Hassan Reddick, questionable. Jamel Dean, limited. Tristan Wirfs, nothing updated on him. Chris Godwin, limited. Baker was a non-participant on Wednesday. You get Bucky back, but they're saying they're putting him on like a snap count similar to Godwin, who played 20 out of 70 snaps last week. Yeah, he's very limited though. Very limited player, they said. So yeah, they'll be getting some people back, but again, as you were talking about earlier with Joe Burrows, right? Like coming back from injury doesn't mean you're automatically better, right? Like
Right.
you're still coming back from an injury. So my dog just sits in the background.
Hey.
um, and I think, yeah, Arizona has lost the last 3 weeks, but they played Seattle, the Niners, and the Jaguars. I just think that they have an opportunity to win another game this week against a pretty beat up Bucks team. I could be wrong and way off kilter here. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going based off the spread, like this game could go either way. However, I don't know. I think the Buccaneers find a way to win. They have to. Uh, you know, I'm not gonna be surprised if the Cardinals win this game though. But uh, the Buccaneers got their back against the wall, and I think they have enough moxie to eke one out here. Um, they are hurt, but this is the NFL. Everybody's dealing with injuries. You're gonna have to find a way to win. Regardless of who you have out there. And it is a winnable game against the Cardinals. It's not like they're playing the Rams, which is a
Yeah.
good thing.
Well, this is also another one of those games too, where if the Bucks lose, if the Panthers lose, and then if the Falcons win, they're only a game back in that division as well. So this is
That is
another
wild.
week where like this whole week is like a week where all like two divisions can be insanely close, and that's the Falcons are 4-7 and they have a chance to win this division.
Yeah.
So this is a really big game for the Bucks. And as Wu-Tang's saying, he says they get back on track this week. This is to me, this game, and again, it's not like the level of it, but like this game to me is kind of similar to like the Colts Chiefs game last week, where the Chiefs had to win that game if they wanted to have a chance this year. I think the Bucks really need to win this game because that division it's really close. And their schedule, they have a pretty easy schedule, I would say. They play the Cardinals, the Saints next week. Then you got the Falcons. They play Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers to end the year, right? So they have 3 divisional games to end the year. So this, you got to win the games that you. No, the Saints are in that division too, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. They're 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 out of their last. Yeah, 5 out of their last 6 are all divisional games, all backloaded, right? So as you were saying earlier, with like the Colts schedule, a lot of these games become really important.
Yeah, and for their sake, hopefully they get a little more healthy as to make their stretch run. But
yeah, and they're talented.
They are.
We all know they're talented. They were winning games when they shouldn't have been winning them, right? Like Baker was doing the thing, but he's come back to earth, right? And that team's come back to earth. That's the thing. But no one's questioning they're not talented. They can easily be in the Super Bowl. We all know that. They just have been so banged up. And again, as you said earlier with injuries, right? Like it's not like you're coming back off of missing a couple weeks and you're 100% and you're ripping and you're doing everything you're doing,
Yeah, it takes time, right? Then you got the rest versus rust kind of situation there. But yeah, so you have the Cardinals, I have the Bucks in this game. We're gonna go to a game that you might be interested in here. It's Minnesota Vikings going to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, with the Seahawks being favored by 10.5 and the over under at 41.5.
Yeah. This game this is going to be an interesting game, right? I don't think the Vikings are a bad team. I think JJ McCarthy's dog shit.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're bad. And like, seriously, like I think he is so bad that they look bad. Their defense is not bad. They have the weapons on offense. And I think Brosmer is a significant upgrade at quarterback. And we historically don't do well against backups in this situation. Now, do I think we're going to lose this game? Absolutely not. But I think this is like a 7 to 10 point game. And I think that like plus 10 and a half for the Vikings is the safe bet here. I think it definitely goes over 41. I don't remember the last time any of our games have gone. The Rams game went under 41, but I mean, we're putting up over 40 all year. And I think the Vikings are actually going to put up some points in this game. I think that they have the talent to do it. And I think if Brosmer just throws the ball, Addison and Jefferson is one of the best receiving duos in the league, right? Like, they're going to make something happen. And I know our defense is really good. I'm all for it. I think we have an awesome defense, but, something's got to give. And I think that the Vikings do put up a couple scores in this game.
Yeah. I'm with you on the Vikings being better than, what they've been playing like. I think that all falls on the quarterback play that they've had. If they had, you could go as recent as last year when they had Darnold, they had a pretty damn good record, with good quarterback play. Sometimes that is the difference. They have weapons. I don't like how they've been utilizing Addison in the offense. He'll go quiet
I own him
the whole
in fantasy.
game.
It has not been a fun year. He looked great when Carson Wentz was playing, and then JJ McCarthy came in and they stopped throwing him the fucking ball. Like, he had 0 fantasy points last week. In no way, shape, or form. Addison is a wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams. Like, in no way, shape, or form should he not be getting any catches. And I know the week before he dropped a 60-yard touchdown, right? Like, he got tugged on the jersey. Everyone's like, oh, that's an NFL catch. Like, he got tugged on the jersey. So I'll give him, he still should have caught the ball, but like, I don't think he would have housed it because the defender was already on him. But he's just way too talented to be, not to your point, to not be having anything. It's the same thing with J-Mo, right? Like, J-Mo not touching the ball in that Detroit offense. He had 0 last week too. Like, and I think that they're going to feed him the ball this week too. But Addison should be getting, 6 to 8 targets at minimum.
Yes. And for them to be competitive in this game, he's going to have to be a factor, right? Like, you're going to have to get him the ball, even if it's on bubble screens or whatever. Utilize his speed. This guy is, to your point, a number 1 receiver talent-wise, right?
And he's shown it when Jefferson is out, right? Like last year when Jefferson was out.
He filled in very admirably.
Happy Thanksgiving, Johnny boy.
Yeah, he's drinking aguardiente. Okay. He's getting his party started today.
His party started early.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, shit.
But
yeah, man, Addison is so underutilized. And it's just, again, JJ McCarthy is so dog shit that, like, I don't take anything. And I know, like, the whole Jefferson's quarterback proof, but, like, McCarthy's so bad that he makes Jefferson look bad. Yeah. And Jefferson is arguably one of the best receivers in the league, right? Like, now you have the echelon of, like, Puka, Chase, Jefferson, JSN, like, there's that upper echelon now, but there's no way Brosmer. If Brosmer is worse than McCarthy this week, I rather McCarthy start this week over Brosmer. That's how bad he is. Like, just throw him out there. Like, he is so bad. I can't put enough emphasis on that. It is, you can't look any worse than that. So I think that the receivers actually have he's going to probably throw for like 250, somewhere. Someone's got to get the yards.
Yeah. But is this a game where they try to establish the run to kind of protect him a little bit? Because
maybe. I think you just let him go out there and air the fucking ball out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just let him air it out, man. You're already projected to get the piss beat out of you. Give your team a chance. You know what I mean? I don't think they really have the run game with Aaron Jones and Mason to try to even establish a run game on us, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Our defensive line is so good. The only thing that's going to hurt Brosmer is he's not a mobile quarterback. He wasn't a mobile quarterback in college. He's not a mobile quarterback now. He's a pocket passer, right? So that line hasn't been great. If they give him any time, though, he can at least try to make a throw happen.
Yeah.
But
he's going to have to get rid of the ball,
yeah, but I can see him easily throwing for 250 yards. I really can. It's just a matter of if it's in garbage time or not.
Yeah.
But
You know what? I got the Seahawks winning by about like 2 touchdowns, like by maybe 13 or 14.
I could see it. I just feel like this is like one of those traps, like with that, like the Tennessee game last week where they randomly scored like 14 points in the last quarter and a half, right? Like
Yeah.
that's where like I could see it being like a 10-point game.
Yeah, that definitely can happen. Um,
Yes, Wu
but
Tang. I think Jefferson will be significantly better with Brosmer. Again, McCarthy. Let me just put this in perspective for you, okay? When McCarthy won the national title, they didn't run the ball a single time in the second half of the national championship game. All right, didn't pass the ball, sorry. Once. They ran the ball the entire second half. He was so protected. I don't know how savant you are in college ball, what you know, what I know. You know, the people I talked to, we all thought he would be a third or fourth round pick. When he shot up into the first round, I was like, whoa. That was so shocking to me. He was not a first. There was nothing on his player metrics that said he was a first round talent.
yeah, it was a bit of a reach to say
I
the
don't
least.
think anybody that was a football expert or knew anything about football thought he should have won in the first round. I thought he was exactly a third or fourth rounder. That's what most of the people I talked to, what I thought. Yes, he won a national championship, but he didn't win that national championship. That
No.
Michigan defense and
Yeah.
Blake Corum, who looked like the best running back in college, won that game.
Yeah, that team was stacked.
So I'm not saying throwing the towel, but throwing the towel, man. He has looked so bad. He doesn't even have glimpses. You know what I mean? It's just there's nothing there. And Brosmer, again, UDFA, right? He's not going to be a first round pick quarterback either. We're not expecting that, right? And a great head coach, yes. But he's going to throw the ball. And that's what he did in college is he threw the ball. So at least you're going to get some production out of him. He's not going to give you Joe Flacco numbers, right? Because Joe Flacco is a proficient passer in the NFL, but he should give you middle of the pack numbers. He's not going to give you 32nd, 38 in the league. There's not even 38 starting quarterbacks, and McCarthy was better than, or worse than 38 people, So yeah, don't get me. I could rant about. I am so the McCarthy shit. I am so over it.
But,
from just a football fan point of view, it is so mind blowing to me.
And to put a bow on it, I think Vikings fans are kind of frustrated because they did have Sam Darnold coming off a really good year, and I guess the higher ups in the organization had all this confidence in McCarthy being like this, this guy that because O'Connell has worked magic with quarterbacks in the past.
That shows you how bad he is, though, is my thing. I was reading about that. O'Connell's done wonders.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, that shows you how bad McCarthy is.
That's like
he has
Shanahan not
fixable
being
things.
good.
Yeah, right. He has fixable things, right? Like he's coachable. McCarthy is, but he's not. He should have sat on the bench for a year at least more. He was thrown. He got drafted too high and got thrown into like he has to be this quarterback because you let Darnold go. You're banking on him, who's coming off an injury, by the way. He didn't even play last year.
Yeah.
Came off an injury.
Yeah.
Again, that's why he was a third or fourth round draft pick, right? You let him develop, you give him some time. He was never an NFL ready quarterback when he came into the league. He wasn't.
Yeah. And to your point, the first round pick, raises the expectations. So, there's a lot to be seen to see where his career goes from here, if he can bounce back or not. But let's move on to the Las Vegas Raiders going to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. We have the Chargers favored by 8.5 with over under at 40.5.
Yeah, we can make this one a quick one. The Chargers are going to win this game.
Yeah.
Vegas has done.
Vegas quit.
Both. Yeah. they're ready for draft picks. They need to draft O-line. I don't know how many picks they have in the draft, but they all need to be O-line. Like their O-line is so bad. You take Genty, and I know he's a generational prospect, but with no O-line, I mean,
and even Bowers too, right? Like at the mercy of.
You literally have 2 generational players on your team, and that's not saying Genty's done anything generational in the NFL, right? I'm not saying that, but he is a generational level talent. But he's kind of like Marvin Harrison to me. Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Marvin Harrison Jr.'s ceiling is significantly higher, but Kyler looked horrible, right? You're not having someone good throw to you, so you don't hit that ceiling, right? And Marvin Harrison looked better before he had the appendicitis surgery with Brissett, right?
Yep.
I think if they build an O-line, you have an elite receiving tight end in Brett Bowers. He was arguably a top 3 tight end in the NFL, right?
Oh yeah, hands down.
He hasn't looked the part this year. He's also been dealing with injuries. But then you have Genty, who's great. Geno Smith is dog shit. I'm glad we got rid of him. And Pete Carroll, I love the guy. I love what he did for Seattle, but it's his time to get out of the NFL, man. He can't scheme. Yeah. He's so stuck in the past with his offensive schemes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That whole team needs a revamp. And I think they should probably toss a towel in. I don't think this is the year you take a quarterback. We had this discussion a couple weeks back. I don't think that this draft is a wow. I think Mendoza is good. I don't think he's number 1 overall good. I think there's going to be an edge rusher or some pass rushers that go first or should go first.
Yep.
But yeah, man, the Raiders, they're done. The Chargers, they have to win this game to stay ahead.
Yeah, keep pace.
Yeah.
But
he's one and done. Who's one and done? We just talked about so much stuff. McCarthy should be one and done. Yeah.
Yeah. To your point, man, I think the Chargers win this game easily.
Ruben. He's talking Ruben Bain. Sorry. Ruben Bain is the edge rusher for Miami. I believe that's what he's talking about. Yeah, I think is who is probably going to go 1 overall. And Carroll needs to be one and done. But yeah, we don't need to dwell on the Raiders because that's just their poverty right now, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Chargers win this game. You got Hampton coming back this week as well.
Yeah.
We'll see how they utilize him, but they probably should. Even they've dealt with a lot of injuries too this year. They should probably win this game by 2 scores at least.
It's a good confidence building game here. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the Buffalo Bills going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, and we have Buffalo favored by 3.5 and the over/under at 46.5.
Yeah, this game, I think Buffalo puts up a lot of points. They just had a really hard week against the Texans. Allen looked beyond mediocre. Really, did you watch that game at all?
Oh, yes.
No time in the pocket. I mean, that sack that he took for like 16 yards where he was just running circles. Like he's just trying to do way too much. I think they got not going to be like some over the top player, but Braden Cook signed with them this week. So that should give him more flexibility at receiver. You could really tell that they were, and Keon Coleman's not coming back, right? But they were really missing Keon Coleman in the red zone. Yeah. And I think Keon Coleman isn't this uber talented receiver. He was good enough to get taken with the high draft pick, FSU guy, I believe. But he did what he needed to do at times for that offense. He's had some crazy touchdown catches this year. He had that one that went off like the defender's hands and just like fell right into his hand and he caught it, right?
Yep.
But I think Josh Allen's going to have a monster game. I just think he looks so bad. And I think the Steelers, again, it's just what Steelers defense do you get? I think regardless, he should torch them. I think he's going to get pushed out of the pocket a lot by the pass rush. But I think that they probably put up like 31 points this week. I think that I could easily see this being a remake of last week. 31-28, the Steelers lose, right?
Yeah.
I could easily see it going that way. I just don't think that they're going to look bad 2 weeks in a row. And they had a Thursday game, right? So they're coming off a lot of rest.
Yeah, and a lot of rest and a lot of motivation, right? I know that's a proud bunch of guys over there in Buffalo, and they don't like, getting embarrassed.
Now,
Uh,
just for context too, they lost to the Patriots 20-23 and then lost to the Falcons 24-14 the following week. The week after that, they put up 40 on the Panthers. Then they
yeah,
lost 30-13 to the Dolphins. The week after, they put up 44 on the Bucs, right? So like they usually have good bounce back games. So and they've only put up under 21 two times this year. No, three times, I'm sorry, because the Texans. But most of their games are putting up 30 plus. So I think
yeah.
they're kind of going to get back to form.
I
The
mean,
Steelers have seemed they look like that year, where you said they were good, 11-0, and they're kind of falling back to earth.
yeah, and to speak on Josh Allen, I think this team relies too much on him, and he could be mistake prone when he has to do too much. Uh,
Yep.
and you see it too. Like he'll try to go out the pocket, make things happen. You are really actually opening the door for injury or turnovers when you try to
And
make.
he's had some silly ones this year, man. Like that
Yeah.
quarterback sneak where he ran it like 15 yards and got the ball punched out. Like
Yes.
he's had some silly turn. The interception in the game last week, I knew he was going to throw that. He's had some really weird. He only has 9 this year, but he's had some really weird interceptions where I'm like, dude, you're just trying to force the ball. And my thing is when the problem is when Rashid, English is so hard. When why am I blanking on the receiver name now?
Who was this? Shahid?
No, Shahid went to Shakir. Sorry, holy
Oh,
cow.
Shakir. Yes.
Shahid went
Shakir.
to Seattle.
Yes.
Shakir, when that's your number one receiver, that's a problem, right? Like he's
Yeah.
not a number one receiver. So I'm hoping maybe Braden Cooks does something. I don't think you go pick him up in fantasy, he's going to get you 150 receiving yards this week. He's
No.
32 years old. You know what I mean? But he's still not he's a talented receiver. And he should open up the middle of the field at least, hopefully. And then I
Yeah.
think they get Kincaid back this week. So that should be
Okay.
really big for them.
Yeah. And to your point, I
And
think
James Cook.
they win this game. I don't believe in the Steelers that much to give me a consistent, like, they're going to protect home field. I think Josh Allen's going to come back and try to, take it out on Pittsburgh. And I see them winning by like a touchdown at least. So let's move on to the Denver Broncos going to Washington to take on the Commanders Sunday night.
-6 is interesting here.
-6.
Broncos off a bye week. I think that offense has looked so bad off a bye week. They gotta have something new out here. I don't know why. I'm gonna put this out there and preface this. I'm an RJ Harvey fantasy owner. I am super high on RJ Harvey, and I got a feeling he's gonna come out and put up like 150 all-purpose yards this game. I think they're gonna try to feed him the ball and open up the field a bit more because Bo Nix, I love the guy. He's Ducks legend. I'm a big Oregon Ducks fan. But good God, has he looked so average, below average. He had that one really good game this year, and the Broncos defense is legit. I think they are going to feast on the Commanders.
Oh yeah. Scary.
This game is super one-sided. I think -6 is crazy. I've got a feeling they're going to win by 21 plus.
Yeah.
I know the Commanders have made a couple games look close, but dude, I think they're off of bye week. They're going to beat the piss out of the Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah, they should, right? Like no matter who's playing quarterback for the Commanders, that Broncos defense is going to kind of suffocate, whatever the Commanders try to do. I look for Bo Nix and company to establish some type of consistency and cohesion on offense, right? Like him, Cortland Sutton, has been kind of feast or famine this year too.
Evan Ingram's been horrible.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe this is
Torrey
a game.
Franklin's the guy that's looked good.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes you just gotta pass it to the guy you have a connection with. But going forward, when you play the better teams, you're gonna need Cortland Sutton to make these big catches. You're gonna need your brand names, so to speak,
Yeah.
to show
And
up.
I'm playing against Ingram, Nix, and Sutton this week in fantasy.
Oof.
So I'm kind of hoping they don't do anything crazy. I'm hoping if Bo Nix has a good game, it's off the heel of RJ Harvey catching the touchdowns,
It could.
But I just have a feeling that this offense is probably going to go nuclear this week. And I'm playing the 3 of their fucking top guys, right? Like, I just think they're going to literally do whatever they want, however they want to the Commanders. They're going to bend them over and make them their bitch. Like, it's one of those games.
Oh man, yeah, and to that point too, the Broncos have a opportunity here to kind of hush the naysayers who say that they play in close games all the time.
If
Let's
they
see a
win this
signature
week
dominant
close,
win.
yeah, they need it this week. If they win this game close, they're not beating the allegations, man. They
Nope.
gotta come out here and win by like 21 plus.
You have to,
Yeah,
especially a nationally televised game.
yeah.
But
Off
yeah,
a bye week too.
off a
Off a
bye
bye
week.
week as well, man.
They got everything tipping their way.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go to the Monday night game, and it's the New York Football Giants going to New England to take on the Patriots, with New England favored at 7.5, over under 46.5.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say I think that 7.5 line feels about right. The Giants, they're losing every game they can, but they're playing good games, man.
Yeah,
Like
they've been
they're
in a
doing
lot of
what
games.
they're doing what they got to do. They haven't lost by more than 10 for 5 weeks. They lost 38-20 to the Eagles. They haven't lost by more than 10 3 times this year. Only 3 times they've lost by more than 10. So 9 of their games, they're keeping it close, like they're staying in the games. I don't know. I think Jackson Dart was a full participant. So I think he comes back, which I don't think they should bring him back personally.
Yeah.
But if he comes back, he's a dog. This is a really tough matchup against a really good Patriots defense. But this is going to be probably a close game somehow because the Giants have done a great job at staying in games just for the fun of it, it feels like. Because they're not winning. It seems like they're out there for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
Seriously, they look awesome randomly. Like Jameis Winston puts on a show last week. They lose in overtime, but they lost in overtime to Detroit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everyone had them pegged to lose by at least a touchdown or two. Not overtime. They lost by a touchdown in overtime. The Giants could only get the NFL to change the game to 3. Oh yeah, they'd be Super Bowl favorites. They probably won so many games by the time the third quarter is over.
Yeah.
And they squander it away. The Dallas game, the Denver game, the Detroit game, like that's 3 games alone. They'd be 5-7 at the very least.
The very least, yeah. And it's crazy because they have squandered these fourth quarter leads, which partly because of you had Russell Wilson as the quarterback earlier this year, which was wild to
games
me.
Away, literally.
Yeah, throwing the game away. But I give them a lot of credit for playing hard, even with their bad record, right?
Mm-hmm.
That shows a lot of promise for next season. I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams in the league next year when they get healthy.
Uber talented too. I mean, you have Scat who got hurt, obviously. You got Dart who, he got injured, but now he's coming back apparently. You have one of the top receivers in the league. And Zandy, this is why I think that they're bringing Dart back, which I don't think they should. I think they're bringing Dart back to trial Kafka. And I think how he performs over the next few weeks, and I don't think they have an easy schedule by any means. Let me see. But I think that they do have a pretty easy schedule. They play the Patriots this week, and they play the Commanders, the Vikings, the Raiders, and then the Cowboys in the season. So it's not a horrible schedule.
No.
I have two issues with this being a trial for Kafka, right? Like if you're going to keep him. If you're going to get rid of him, move forward. One, if they end up winning some games, now you're playing yourself out of your draft pick almost, right? Two, Dart's had 4 concussions this year already. You don't want to see him take another injury. You're getting into a territory there for me.
Oh, yeah.
And 3, it's unfair to trial a guy to me when your team is you're down all of your studs. Like you have Wandell and, Slayton, whatever else at receiver, right? But no Neighbors, no Scat. Just sit Dart out the rest of the year. If you want Kafka to coach, let him coach and give him a chance next year. A bootleg. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. That was good, Zandy.
But I think if they win a couple games, he stays. But I don't think they should be trying to win games. I don't know how you feel about it, but
yeah. You got to protect your assets, right? Dart has been a pleasant surprise for this organization. I think they have something with him. In a lost season, like you said, no reason to go out there, force the issue. He has nothing to prove this year. Get healthy, get back on track next year for training camp, and start the year fresh. This is why you got Jameis Winston, in case the season fell apart, where he'll keep you in the game.
And Winston's gonna throw the ball, man. Could you imagine Winston on the Vikings?
Oh, they'd be a lot better.
Dude, he'd have both of those receivers would be over 1,000-yard receivers.
Yes.
And his numbers would be insane. Let's not dive back in the Vikings but Winston throws the ball, man. He keeps you in games. Yeah, he's gonna throw you intercept. He's gonna throw his picks. He's gonna have his bonehead plays, but he slings the ball.
Yeah, old school gunslinger, man.
Yeah. He's gonna give you a chance when he's in the game. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
But you don't want him to win you games.
Yeah.
You just want to be in games. That way you don't, you show a little bit, but you don't want him winning you games. I think you go out there and you try to win some games and you start messing with your draft stock. It's just not good.
And they have done that in the past where, they've had a chance to get a number 1 pick and then they won games
last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're notorious for that. But to your point, I think this game is close. This is what the Giants have been doing all year. I think could be a little, maybe a 6-point game. It could be one of those defensive struggles where
it's either going to be a 7-point game or a 25-point blowout. But I just think the Giants have done such a good job.
They have been, and we say things about good teams looking fraudulent, but I think this is one of the better 2-win teams that I can remember, right?
Easily. Like I said, they only have 3 games where they've lost by more than 10 points. They are in games, and they're honestly, like I said, they have 3 games, at least off the top of my head, that they should have won.
Oh, and another game was the Bears game that they let go. I don't know if you remember, the Bears came back at the end.
Oh, yeah, the Bears did come. Yeah, the Bears came back. And then also they lost to the Saints. They could have easily beat the Saints.
They could have beat them
and
too.
they lost only by 7 to the Packers. They got some games on here. I'm like, damn, they could easily be a 6 or 7 win team. I feel like
100%, and that all bodes well for them next year.
Yeah, but let it be next year.
Yeah, let it be next year. But to Zandy's point, I think the Giants are going to go and get another coach. This is just.
I think I saw Cliff Kingsbury being talked about going in there. There's a couple guys where I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
And even John Gruden's name has been.
Yeah, I saw Gruden. Let's go look at the odds.
He loves him. Dart.
Oh yeah, he's a huge. Yeah, he's got. Don't even get me started. The favorites are Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator. Okay, Mike
Okay.
McCarthy, Clint Kubiak from us. I'd love for him to stay. Spagnolio,
Oh wow.
um, and Kingsbury, and then Kafka at like 1,200 plus 1,200. So it seems like Shula is. Oh, and Lane Kiffin's on here too.
Okay.
I think Lane stays in college, but yeah,
You don't think they try to put a lot of money in the Notre Dame coach to try to lure him out?
no. Yeah, McCarthy's a name I saw. No, I don't think any of those college coaches are coming to the NFL right now. There's too much money in college,
Yeah.
and like Notre Dame, we could jump to college because we got a couple more minutes. But like Notre Dame, there's the whole argument about them should they even be in the playoffs, like with where Miami's at. But their 2 losses were early in the season by minimal points to number 3 in the nation, and to Miami. Um, so I just don't see any of these college guys coming out right now.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, they might go in the direction of because they've tried to get offensive minded guys here.
But it
Some
seems like everyone on
quarterback
their list is
gurus.
defensive minded for the most part, like all their top guys. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I think they want to change in philosophy because the last because they've had a lot of turnover in the coaching position there,
Yeah.
and they're all been offensive guys who were like quarterback gurus, and it's
I think the
not
thing
worked
is
out
that
well.
quarterback gurus should just be use your talent where your talent should be used. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know. Like pay him as a specialist. But
I agree.
yeah.
Uh,
You want to hop to some NBA talk before we get
yeah,
out of here?
yeah. Let's go to some NBA talk.
We got like 8 or 9 minutes for
I know.
G kills us.
Yeah.
I want to run something by you.
Okay.
So obviously OKC is the best team in the NBA, right?
Yep. Hands
So
down.
I saw today, as of right now, OKC owns the number 1, the number 9, and the number 13 pick in the upcoming draft. It is insane the value of picks that they're going to have over the next couple years. Is that not crazy though?
Yeah. I mean,
You're on
shout out to
pace to
Sam
break the win
Presti.
record. Sam Presti's done an amazing job, but
Yeah.
on pace to break the NBA record for wins and losses. They won again today. They're doing this without their second best player in
Yeah.
J-Dub. And then you're projected to have 3 lottery picks with one of them possibly being 1 overall. It is. And they got all their young guys locked up. And they're
Yeah.
getting production out of second rounders, first rounders, no rounders. You could pull me off the street and I could probably do well in their offense. I mean, it is crazy to me. Shout out to OKC. I'm an OKC fan. But even if I wasn't, shout out to them for what they've done, and shout out to Sam Presti for what he's done. I couldn't believe when I saw that graphic today, though.
Yeah. No, Sam Presti reminds me a lot of RC Buford.
Oh, yeah.
The way that they run their organization reminds me of those Spurs teams from back in the day where they just make great moves. They doesn't matter who you put in, in this lineup, they get their guys to buy in, and
Yeah.
man, they play great defense. They're young.
And
I
talking
don't
about
know.
young, let's just hop around to the 2 best teams in the East. Pistons, who
Oh,
lost tonight, in Toronto.
yeah,
And
surprise
I
Toronto.
said, I'm not surprised. So I'll tell you this. I'm not doing fantasy basketball this year. I'm really invested in football and stuff. But last year when they locked up Ingram, I said don't be shocked if they're like a top 3 team in the East next year, because top to bottom, they have talent. I
Yeah,
think that RJ Barrett taking a huge leap. Jakob Pertl is fantastic. Scotty Barnes is electric. And then you have BI. BI, they call him, Baby Durant for a reason. He's a
yeah,
great NBA player. And then you have Emmanuel Quickly. you know all about Emmanuel quickly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, Gene said we got 4 minutes, but isn't it crazy? Like how all these young teams, like, you know, then you have the Spurs, you know, and the Rockets, like all these young teams, man, they're all like the top teams in the league right now.
Yeah. It's very interesting. To your point that these teams have really shown out, man. And I gotta salute the Pistons though, man. 13 in a row.
Seriously. They lost tonight in a tough loss by 3 to Boston. But man, if you would have told me last year, and I know they made the play-ins or whatever, that they'd be the best team in the East after a couple weeks, and they're 15-3.
Yeah.
You know, they're second in the NBA. I mean, OKC's 18-1, they're 15-3, and then you got Toronto at 14-5, and then LA and Denver at 13-4. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy, and I don't think they've had like a cupcake schedule either. They've
No.
beaten the Rockets. You know, their last few games, they beat the Pacers, the Bucks, the Hawks, the Pacers, 76ers, the Bulls. They have some good wins on here, man.
They do. And you can only play who's on the schedule, right? So
Yeah.
to their
And
credit, they've taken care of business.
if every team was that good, every team would be 15-3. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're getting the job done.
Motorcade Cunningham, man.
Yeah, I love Kate. I owned him in fantasy last year. Just a monster. Shout out to my fiance. She's in the chat.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So, do you have any rant for this week, Sean?
I don't today. I don't. I didn't plan one because I just felt like we would just talk about everything, and we did.
Yeah. I know we are running out of time here, but I did want to say...
even if I did have a rant, you know, we'd only have one of us go, so I think you should go.
Yeah, I think, we haven't really touched on it in this episode, but, the off-season for baseball is heating up, man. There's, Dylan Cease today to the Blue Jays, 7-year deal, man.
$210 million?
Yeah. It's, coming off the year that he had, that sets the bar for, if you want an ace. Yeah, he gets strikeouts, right? And on that team, he doesn't have to
They just made the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah. And we still are waiting for, Tucker to sign and Bellinger and Pete Alonso and what's going on with
Framber.
Framber Valdez.
There's a lot of talent.
Ranger Suarez,
Ranger, yeah.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray traded from the Cardinals to
Boston.
That's a huge. I mean, Sonny Gray's
he's
great.
Solid, man. He's a solid pitcher, and the Mets getting Simeon.
Simeon is in the bad.
Nimmo.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about trading Nimmo, but yeah,
Nimmo was a beloved Met. I'll tell you that. But his defense was declining. But and the Japanese guys, yes.
Yeah, there's the one batter, right?
Yep.
Is it the batter? Yeah.
I think the pitcher, Iami, I think is his name.
We all know where they're signing, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, he said that he doesn't want to be a Dodger, which was refreshing. He's like,
we'll see about that when they offer him a $1 billion contract.
Yeah, deferred Bitcoin for 50 years.
Yeah, they give him Bitcoin under the table.
Oh man, but I know we're gonna have to get out of here. But we do thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe if you haven't.
That's right. Like, comment, subscribe. We're here Wednesdays.
Typically 9:30. We started at 9 today, but usually 9:30.
That's right. And we just want to send everybody the best Thanksgiving wishes. Enjoy the football, enjoy the time with your friends and family, eat a lot. This is a great time of year, and let's be entertained, right?
Absolutely.
So for my boy Sean, to me, and to everybody else, have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you next week, guys.